A quorum of the board is present, so we'll call the February 20th meeting of the Board of Trustees, Tarrant County College to order. We have 3 public comments. The first is Lee Hawkins. And you have 3 minutes.
I'll try to talk fast.
Thank you.
It is Leah Hawkins.
Leah, okay.
Okay. Dr. Giovannini, members of the board, my name is Leah Hawkins. I have been a full-time employee of TCC for over 6 years. On January 2nd, I stopped to pick up a prescription refill and was told my insurance was expired. I had to pay full retail cost. I called Optum RX and Blue Cross and received verification that my benefits had terminated at the end of 2019. I immediately emailed several HR employees, hoping to reach anyone who might offer me an explanation. I received a quick response promising to check on the issue the next morning. I did not receive a response the next morning. Apologizing for the delay, the HR rep emailed me on Saturday and informed me that according to Texas insurance code, I am not and was never eligible for benefits due to my status as a TRS retiree. She stated a recent ERS audit had revealed this and required that my benefits be terminated. I received no notification from anyone. With no insurance for the month of January, I paid out of pocket over $250 for prescriptions, which had been costing about $40. I had to cancel doctor's appointments, an outpatient procedure, and immunotherapy treatment. I had to scramble to get some coverage in place. At least I am Medicare eligible, but many TRS retirees are not. I visited HR on January 8th to have a form completed verifying that my coverage had ended so that I could apply for Medicare without penalty. I asked the rep how this had happened. She stated that retired members of TRS are not allowed to be contributing members of TRS. This was actually inaccurate since I was paying a surcharge as a TRS retiree, not participating as an active member. She also stated that other employees had had their benefits terminated for the same reason. How many others were there? Since I was never notified, were the other employees notified? Maybe they still don't know. Maybe they will only find out like I did when they go to refill a prescription or have to visit the ER. She stated that if applicants are honest on their application, this would not have happened. In fact, there is no question on the application regarding retiree status. My retiree status was discussed in my interview over 6 years ago. The hiring supervisor made the job offer. I was told that per HR I would be required to pay the TRS surcharge, and I agreed. I was never told that I was not eligible for benefits. It was not mentioned during my onboarding. All the documents were signed, and I have had benefits for 6.5 years now. I was told by one HR rep that the TRS deduction would not continue, but that was inaccurate because it was deducted from my January paycheck. When I questioned this, I was told by yet another HR representative that the surcharge was still required and was emailed a long legal document to explain it to me. I have shared this experience with coworkers, other TRS retirees, friends, and family, and they find it appalling, as I do. My Medicare insurance advisor requested the official letter of termination to process my Medicare supplement application, but I have never received one from anyone. He finds it unbelievable and stated that it sounded like a class action lawsuit waiting to happen in his opinion. I tell you all of this so that you will understand the emotional and financial stress that this has caused me and my family, and to inform you that HR's overall lack of knowledge placed multiple employees, I still don't know how many, and their families in a horrible situation to have their benefits yanked out from under them without any notice.
Thank you.
I suggest intensive training be scheduled immediately for all HR employees.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jessica Ramirez.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Jessica Ramirez, and I'm here with TARRANT. If you Google search TCCD Diversity and Inclusion Plan and pull up the results for the strategic plan, TCCD Chancellor Dr. Giovannini is quoted as stating Fundamental to TCC's mission is our belief that diversity and inclusion are necessary ingredients in providing the most stimulating learning and working environment possible. Our commitment to creating and sustaining a safe, respectful, welcoming, and equitable environment for all students and employees has always been and remains unwavering. Although we of Out Tarrant believe that Dr. Giovannini has his thoughts and beliefs in the right place, we believe that simple words and intentions are nowhere near enough as actual actions. TCCD still has not taken any steps or initiatives for adopting a safe campus resolution, nor any resolution that would be of benefit to TCCD's undocumented and dreamer students. And this contradicts the TCCD's diversity and inclusion plan. Dr. Giovannini is quoted as wishing to create a sustained and safe, respectful, welcoming, and equitable environment for all students. This is absolutely not a reality for TCC's undocumented and dreamer students. Immigrant communities in North Texas, who mainly comprise TCC's undocumented and dreamer student population, have been targeted by cultural and political actions that constantly threaten to separate families, hurt our communities, and overall endanger the well-being of our state's future. One of the main actions of concern is the Tarrant County's Agreement 287G, which allows immigration and customs enforcement to deputize officers as ICE agents and carry out mandates which are supposed to be dedicated to the federal government. In a news report published by TCC in response to the district's choosing to not adopt a campus resolution in 2017 that would have provided additional support for its undocumented student population, the assistant police chief is quoted stating, "TCC is an open college and anyone can come onto the campus whether they have a warrant or not. As far as federal agents are concerned, they could call TCC police as a courtesy, but ICE officers or any other external law enforcement officers are not required to tell TCC police before coming on campus or arresting someone." This alludes to the fact that TCC is not adhering to the federal FERPA law, which strictly prohibits sharing of sensitive student information from any person besides the student.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica.
Okay,
Thank you. Appreciate it. Next is Diane Wood.
I'm Diane Wood. I live in Fort Worth, and I'm a member of the ICE Out of Tarrant organization. So I want to speak for a resolution for an equitable and a safe environment on the campus for undocumented students. Since 2017, Tarrant County, through the Sheriff's Department, has been involved in a 287G agreement with Immigration Customs Enforcement, otherwise known as ICE. This agreement allows deputized police officers in Tarrant County to receive training from ICE and to act as ICE agents and question the legal status of any detained person in Tarrant County jails that they believe is undocumented. If that person cannot provide information indicating that they have legal immigration status, they can face deportation procedures, and they do, and they have, and they continue to do that quite often. Since 2019, the Supreme Court of the United States has been in the process to determine if they will uphold the DACA program, which allows people who were brought to the United States as young children to have deferred action for their immigration status, which provides undocumented people the opportunity to have Social Security numbers, which can significantly improve their quality of life, giving them better access to employment, school opportunities, driver's licenses, and other important factors. If the Supreme Court chooses to revoke DACA, 800,000 persons' future in this country will be at risk. Since 2019, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services has increased the cost for most legal immigration fees, such as applying for a citizenship, from that fee from $640 to $1,170. They've also increased the DACA renewal fee from $495 to $765. There's a clear political and cultural trend of anti-immigrant sentiment, especially here in Texas. With all of these factors in question, won't the Tarrant County College District uphold their strategic mission to create a more equitable and inclusive environment by adopting a campus resolution that would assist its undocumented student population with achieving their educational success? Adopting resolutions such as having a clear protocol when dealing with ICE on campus, such as ensuring that all staff and faculty do not disclose students' information to ICE, and ensuring that staff and faculty are aware that they should reroute any inquiries by ICE to the TCC Public Information Office or any other legal entity, and make absolutely sure that in any event no information can be communicated without a warrant signed by a judge. Also, for consideration of the project is establishing an undocumented student resource center at each campus, which can possibly offer services such as assistance with renewing their DACA status, providing legal immigration resources for undocumented students. We believe that when the Tarrant County College District begins making the decision to adopt these resolutions, they will take a step forward in their goals to create a more equitable and inclusive campus. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now take up board business and announcements. Item 3A, approval of the minutes of the December 12th board meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Ms. Ayala, second by Dr. Patrick. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Trustee Activities, Dr. Michael Evans.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I have the opportunity today to give somewhat of a briefing regarding our latest trip to Washington, D.C. For the 2020 Community College National Legislative Summit that took place February the 9th through the 12th. Present were our Chancellor, you, Mr. Heat, Mr. Barr, Mr. Greenhill, and myself, and we appreciate Mr. Gates, of course, who serves as our handler and a concierge. He takes good care of us, and we appreciate him for that. We had the opportunity to hear from several speakers during our time at the conference in Washington, and I'll just kind of give just a brief overview as to who they were. John Palask, who is the Assistant Secretary for Employment and Training with the U.S. Department of Labor, and in that particular role, he does just that. He helps to steer policy regarding the work that we do with the Workforce Connection and otherwise. We also heard from Charlie Cook, who is a political analyst and publisher of the Cook Political Report. He was very informative, and he was attempting to share with us the best that he could the temperature in Washington in these contentious times. We also heard from Diane Jones, who is the Principal Deputy Undersecretary of the U.S. Department of Education, and she's delegated to perform the duties of as an Undersecretary and also Assistant Secretary for Post-Secondary Education. Then we heard from Chairman of the House Committee on Veterans Affairs, Mark Takano. Each of these individuals gave some insight as to where we might be as a country on certain legislative matters. Concerning that, on Wednesday, we had the opportunity to meet with Senator John Corning, Mark Vesey, a representative from Kay Granger's office, Kenny Merchant, Roger Williams, and a representative from Michael Burgess' office as well. And in regard to our legislative priorities, these are the things that we talked to them about. In particular, we wanted them, and we urged and stressed to them the importance of reauthorizing the Higher Education Act, in particular the short-term Pell Grants. We believe that eligibility for short-term programs should be established with safeguards to ensure that only high-quality programs receive support. And also, we ask if they would work to lower the threshold for Pell Grant eligibility to 150 clock hours. Along with that, we talked to them about increasing the Pell Grant maximum award by boosting the maximum grant and providing annual inflationary increases to the maximum award. That would help, of course, in regard to funding and help our students. We talked to them about the second chance Pell Grants that was banned some 25 years ago. And we asked them to overturn that ban for incarcerated individuals because, again, we believe that if these ladies and gentlemen in these correctional facilities are trained, then it would reduce the recidivism rate and unemployment among formerly incarcerated individuals. We also talked to them about support for state investments in lowering the cost of community colleges, and what we were stressing in that regard was to establish a federal-state partnership to dramatically enhance college affordability and to set up somewhat of a matching state funding process where the state would match the funds that's given to us by the federal government, which we hope would somewhat deter the states from lowering their funding commitment to our colleges and schools. The other thing that we talked to them about was enhancing transparency and data and creating a national student unit record data. It would be somewhat of a system that would help us to accurately track our completion rates, transfers, and our graduates so that we'll know how they're doing. Then we talked to them about the investment in education and, of course, workforce development and supporting our dreamers. We talked to them and we continue to stress to our representatives on the governmental level, the federal government level, to assist our students in regard to granting them permanent legal status. So that's somewhat of an overview of what we were involved in. We were quite busy, as you could see, those days, and we survived.
Yes, we did. We also, we were at the Capitol, and in regard to item number 1, we heard from Senator Lamar Alexander and Senator Patty Murray, the two champions of the reauthorization of the Education Act, and they're, one's a Republican, one's a Democrat, and Senator Lamar Alexander is retiring this year, so they have a real sense of urgency to try to get this done before they retire, at least part of the reauthorization. On CAT things, Mr. Greenhill.
Follow up on our venture in Washington, D.C., I have to admit that our escort failed in certain respects to escort us to the right position, but when we got to some of when we got to some of these offices, we found some very nice people who felt sorry for us, and liaisons or staffers would take us down to the basement, and we took a couple of trips or 3 trips on the trains, which saved our lives. I mean, it was, that marble is very, very hard. In regard to the state organization we put on a breakfast in Washington, D.C., and we had some speakers, and that's a time when the trustees and administrators can get together and kind of talk about what's going on, and which we do at all times. In that regard, on February the 8th, we're going to have, CCATT is going to have a leadership conference. We're trying in South Texas College in McAllen, and that's a long way, and our retreat is on the same day, so I will miss it, but we've got a very good crowd going to McAllen to hear some speakers and to get educated into how to be good trustees, how to there's going to be a state representative making a talk about some of the political things that are going on. So that's very exciting about TAC trying to get people, the trustees in our various areas together, talking about politics in mid-March. Right before what's called the BOTI, the Board of Trustees Institute in Bastrop, which is a trustee training session put on by the TACC. The joint legislative group of the TACC, which is the professional organization, the CATT, which is the trustee organization, and the teachers organization, and I don't know the acronym for that one. It's kind of, but it's the state, well, it's the Teachers Your Association. And that we get together, this will be the second meeting, we're getting together to talk about putting together a joint legislative advocacy plan. We're going to have 3 points, funding and so forth and so on. Transferability, Madam Provost is going to be one of these issues. I think there's a interim on that. Is there? I think there's an interim in the legislature talk. Well, maybe not, but transferability is a very important issue for all community colleges. As I've said before, they're transferable, but they're not acceptable. And so we're working on that. It's a very difficult problem to work with the universities on this. But there'll be other activities of CATT, and it'll be I will be going off. The chair-elect is Carol Scott from Delmar College, and we'll have an annual meeting in June at Delmar College. And so that's my report.
Thanks, sir. Dr. Morrison.
Good evening, thank you. Well, it's been a busy month. I was privileged to begin the month on February 1st on South Campus, bringing greetings to the Old Clifford Davis Legal Association, who hosted a will and estate planning symposium. So I had an opportunity to stand before the audience and talk about the great physical and opportunities that TCC offers to our citizens with our 5 footprint campuses and our #1 online college. Also, on February 12th, I returned to South Campus, and if you picked up the February 12th edition of the Collegian, you saw a very excellent report on the Ariel Hunter Chris Minority Entrepreneurial Workshop. I was pleased to also bring greetings there and share some time with Mr. and Mrs. Grissett, who are minority McDonald's owners. We are co-grandparents, we share grandparent pictures often. So we enjoyed that out, and it was very beneficial, very well attended by community people as well as college personnel from across the campuses. It was very. And in case you haven't taken an opportunity to go to Trinity River Campus, I want to encourage you to do that, to view 2 of the exhibits that helped to shape my thinking during my childhood. Along Main Street, there is an exhibit of Sepia Magazine, which was published right here in Fort Worth, and it was one of the favorite magazines that my older sister always bought at the bus station every Saturday when she went to get her hair curled. And I grew up reading that and seeing those pictures. Also went to church when I moved to Fort Worth with the lady who was the publisher of Sepia. So that's an exciting exhibit. And also the Ernest C. Withers photographic exhibit was featured in Jet and Ebony during my formative years, and you can get to see the I Am a Man exhibit there. And of course, if you're more interested in the academic approach to that, you've seen this. There's a special academic presentation, as only the academicians can put it together, called it's on Adjusted Lens Imaging Blackness. There'll be a stellar event on Thursday the 27th. I've had very good reviews from people who have seen the exhibit. You owe it to yourself to take some time, take your family. Anytime the campus is open, you can access those exhibits, and it will definitely enhance your cultural experience and increase your cultural awareness. And it would make me very happy if I had good response from it. So thank you, and I am always excited to read the Collegian. This seems to me that this week's edition, the February 12th edition, had so many wonderful articles about so many wonderful activities going on throughout the campus. I wish I could just go to all of the special activities at all of the campuses, but that's why they are so special, because they are designed for those populations. So they were wonderful articles, and I hope you do take time to enjoy the Collegian and pass it on to people who may not be on the campus to get a copy, but they can learn a lot about our students and our faculty and our staff from reading the Collegians. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Morrison. Ms. Ayala and I attended the Tarrant Transportation Summit that was put on by Tarrant County Precinct 3 Commissioner Gary Fickus, and he's also a member of our TCC Foundation Board. And it talked about the future of transportation in Tarrant County and beyond. And one of the things that I thought was very interesting was a panel made up of Mike Berry, who's head of Alliance Airport, and the manager of technology for Bell Helicopter, and a vice president of BSNF, the Railroad Service. They talked about all these new technologies that they were developing, and new applications for old technologies, and how that was going to transpose transportation as we know it today. And I asked Mike Berry after, I said, well, Mike, that sounds like you're going to have a whole lot of new, highly skilled jobs. I said, where are you going to get your labor force that'll support all that? And he got a big old grin on his face. You know where we're going to get it, Tarrant County College. So, and then he had another presentation by Trinity Board, and you might want to cover that, Ms. Ayala.
Yes, Wayne Gensler from the Trinity Metro. Wayne Gensler from Trinity Metro also talked about the impact of the growth that's going on in this area, and what we're doing from Trinity Metro's perspective to address those, bridge those gaps as far as what the desires are for transportation and what the needs are for transportation. So it was very, very informative.
Continue. Certainly.
Okay, all right. So I too have been very busy, and we all have, visiting campus events and things like that. And it's really nice to see all of the focus on the 3 goals and 8 principles. Some of the things that I observed firsthand is I learned a lot about the welding technology lab, automotive, upholstery, collision repair programs over at the South Campus. What was very unique about it, at least for me, at the level that sometimes we don't actually get to see firsthand, is that we're very strategic in how we align the career and college readiness programs and the career and technical program standards, and in how we're preparing our students. And that's very important, because I think what happens is that involvement that we have, and that alignment, and then involvement with industry helps us to really prepare and ensure that the students are coming out prepared for a career. And so it was very impressive, and I was able to visit with probably 15, 20 people at the South Campus. I was able to actually meet with students as well to hear about their experience. And so I was just impressed by the level of commitment that our folks have to the students, to the college, and to the community that we serve. So thank you very much to Dr. Jordan. I guess it was Dr. Yediaga, Seth Lacey, Ernie Gines, Jennifer Kite, and so many others for your hospitality. So thank you for that.
Did you do some welding?
I did not, but I certainly, I learned a new term called TIG, T-I-G, yes. Also, there was a TCC partnered with Texas A&M Law School, where TCC Trinity River Campus hosted Thomas Sines, who's the president of Maldiv. And he shared a hopeful message, I believe, about the opportunity to deepen civil rights laws in a way that will protect not only Latinos, but all minority groups. And, with the diversity that we have at this college, I think the goal as far as meeting the students where they are, I think that will continue to be the engine that's going to drive student engagement and student completion. So I was very thankful for that partnership. Thank you to Dr. Sean Madison and Dr. Robert Munoz for all of your efforts in organizing that, along with the Texas A&M Law School. I understand that as a result of that engagement, we're exploring other opportunities for potentially have some summer programs for students so that they can learn about the pathway to law careers as well. So I hope that that comes to fruition. And lastly, wanted to talk a little bit about the Southeast campus. I had an opportunity today to visit with us a group of students from Argentina, and they are students at the San Patricio Language Institute. And here we are with the students, the director and the founder, and then also there in the middle is Jose Munoz, and then Dr. Capola as well. But the students have had an opportunity while they're here to observe some of the classes. They've attended several of the classes with TCC students, and there they are as well. They've engaged with host families, and they've really just completely embraced the culture. And it was such a good opportunity to see the students at the Southeast campus as they were just filling up this room at the library to come out and support and to hear these students talk about their experience. One of the things that the Institute really stresses, or a couple of things, is they stress not only bilingualism, but they stress biculturalism, which I think is so very important, because they talk about how that enriches the students' lives. It it's transformational for them, and it just serves as a way of connecting people, and it creates a sense of awareness not only of themselves, but of the world around them. What I found really interesting is on the far end there is Dr. Patricio Ferrari, and he mentioned he's the managing director of this program, and he was actually a student that came here as a Rotary exchange student, and that was kind of the catalyst for him to say, you know what, this is something that other students need to have the opportunity to pursue, and it was just fabulous. So thank you very much for your hospitality, and it was a wonderful visit. And one little thing that was so interesting, and they said that over 30% of citizens in Tarrant County speak another language, or they have they're either bicultural or bilingual, and I found that very, very interesting. So again, it takes us to the goals that we have of making sure that we're serving our community and that we're meeting the students where they are. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Dr. Patrick?
Yes, congratulations to Tarrant County College Connect. The campus recently was awarded the 2020 Intelligence Pick for the Best Online Community College. Now, if you want to know something about the competition, yes. After assessing over 286 universities and colleges and comparing 338 education programs nationwide, Tarrant County College emerged as the leader, ranking a total score of 99.80 out of 100. Congratulations. And by the way, you can read all about it in the award-winning newspaper, The Collegian.
Mr. Orr?
Let me just piggyback on that before Carlos takes too many bows here. One significant item that folks might not realize, we have nearly 20,000, probably over 20,000 students taking online courses at TCC Connect, but only 4,600 of them are just taking online, meaning the large majority, 75, 80% of them, are enrolled in our other campuses as well. So this is truly a college recognition of student success and serving and meeting the needs of the students. So thank you, Carlos, but there's a lot of the whole college can take a great accolade.
Take another bow, Carlos. Thank you. Mr. Barr? No, okay. We'll move on to item 4, consideration approval of the consent agenda. And let me just preface this and the other items we're going to be covering for action. We had a work session last Thursday, and all of these items were fully discussed by the board with the help of staff. And so we've asked all the questions and got most of our answers. And so if we move through these very quickly, it's not that we haven't given them deep thought and just consideration. Item 4A, consideration and approval of proposed policy additions / revisions to DEA local substitute faculty pay. And 4B, consideration and approval of final deductive change order with Mart, Inc. for Southeast Campus, executive door access control project credit in the amount of $74,951.28. Request a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Greenhill, second by Dr. Evans. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5, consideration and approval of individual action items. Item A, consideration and approval of the student fees for 2020 and 2021. Dr. LeBlanc. You're up next, Chris.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Heed, board members, and Dr. Giovannini. We are requesting consideration and approval of the student fees for 2020-2021. This is per policy FD local. 2 changes are proposed, and they are the CPR certification increase from $15 to $20 to reflect TCC's cost charged by the American Heart Association. And then the online outbound print and mail transcript request fee is now listed as a total cost of $4.50. We basically merged 2 fees that had been in the schedule already and created one. Those are the only 2 changes.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Oh,
Okay.
Second.
Well, we so moved by 3 people.
I'll so move it.
I'll
So moved.
second it.
Okay, Ms. Ayala.
I'll
And
second.
Second by Dr. Edwards. Any further discussion, comments? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chris Campbell, item 5B, consideration and approval of funding for cooperative renewal agreements for district furniture purchases in the amount not to exceed $2,500,000.
Good evening, Chancellor Giovannini, board members. $2.5 million, not to exceed, to allow us some flexibility to purchase furniture through cooperative contracts.
I'll make the second.
We
Well,
made a
she made the
by
motion,
Dr.
I'll make the second.
Yeah, Morrison, and a second by Bill
Greenhill.
Greenhill. Any questions, discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 5C, consideration and approval of annual renewal professional services agreement with ABM Texas General Services to provide district ground services in the amount of $492,807.36.
Yes, this is the final 1-year option renewal for landscape and ground services for the district through ABM.
Okay. Questions, discussions? Motion by Dr.
Second.
Morrison, second by Dr. Evans. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 5D, consideration and approval of contract with GFC Contracting to provide South Campus Welding Technology Lab expansion in the amount of $2,569,798.08.
This is for the construction, equipment, and material needed to expand the welding program on the South Campus by 32 stations.
And Dr. Jordan provided us some additional information. We currently serve 174 students per semester over 3 periods during weekdays and on weekends. And the new lab will serve another 94 students for a total of 268 per semester, a 54% increase.
Outstanding.
That's fantastic.
That's good.
That's good.
Any Discussion, questions? So moved by Dr. Morrison.
Second.
Second by Dr. Evans. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, item E, consideration and approval of contract with Infinity Contractors to provide Southeast Campus cooling towers replacement installation in the amount of $1,857,343.85.
This is to replace the cooling tower that came with the campus originally. It still works, but it's time to replace it. It's reached its useful life, and it does not allow for expansion. The new one will.
I'd like to
Questions,
make a
discussion?
motion to approve it.
Mr. Greenhill
Well-
made a motion, a second by Dr. Patrick. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item F, consideration and approval of Trinity River Campus medium voltage electrical distribution system studies and replacement of West Fork transformer in the amount not to exceed $500,000.
Yeah, this is a study similar to the ones that we've done on South and Northeast. It's an electrical efficiency study, and this will make our transformers more efficient. West Fork will be first, and that's what this is for.
Questions, discussion?
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Evans, second by Dr. Morrison. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item G, consideration and approval of South Campus roof replacement on South Health Physical Education Building in the amount of $185,470.
This is to replace the roof after the storm damage that it received in November of 2019.
Okay, Did we get any insurance on that?
We did not.
No insurance. Okay, any further
The
discussion,
de-
questions?
the deductible's not worth it.
The deductible
exceed that.
is
Okay, yeah.
500,000.
Okay.
So that's why.
So, okay.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Morrison, second by Dr. Evans. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item H, consideration and approval of contract with Cables Plumbing to provide South Campus sanitary sewer rehabilitation
Discussion.
Phase 2 in the amount of $146,568.29.
This is just the second phase in the sanitary sewer line replacement.
Second?
Motion by Dr. Morrison, second by Mr. Greenhill. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Item I,
Thank you.
consideration and approval of contract with Solid Border for subscription services and annual maintenance renewal for Palo, Alto firewall devices in the amount of $197,431. Ms. Pat?
Woodrow.
Begin.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not Bob.
No, you're not.
The firewall technology is part of our cybersecurity defense strategy, and this would be the annual renewal for it.
Okay. Questions, discussion?
So moved.
Motion by Dr. Evans, second by? Ms. Ayala. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item J, consideration and approval of contract with General Datatech to purchase district upgrading network switches and wireless access points in the amount of $910,567.72.
For security purposes, these upgrades are required for end-of-life equipment, and it's essential that we replace it.
Okay. Questions, discussion?
So
Motion by Dr. Evans, second by Dr. Patrick. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Motion carries. Monthly financial report by Ms.
Good evening.
Alanis.
Yes. So you've got the report in front of you, and you'll note that our income is a significant portion of our annual budget because this is that sweet spot of the year when we've got our tax revenue coming in and most of our tuition received. And so we're at 72%. Our expenses are in line and on target to be under budget for the year. Moving on to the investment report. You'll note that with the influx of cash, we also have an increase to the pooled investments that we have as a result of that cash on hand, and our yield as of January 31st is at 1.89%. Be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 7, Chancellor's report.
Shannon Bryant has a new introduction to make for us.
Yeah.
Good evening, Mr. Heed, members of the board, Chancellor. I am here tonight to welcome our new director for the Tarrant County Small Business Development Center, Mr. Rodney Johnson, who has recently joined us. He has an extensive financial management experience and is a former owner of R4 Industries and also comes with a ton of entrepreneurial experience. In previous careers, he worked with IBM as a global partner, serving in the role of Vice President of Global Services. He also worked with the Houston Johnson Consulting Group as Vice President of Operations for Business Development. Rodney's background in corporate, academic, and business environments will serve him well in his new leadership position with the SBDC and Tarrant County College. He holds a Master's of Business Administration and Industrial Management and a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. He is also certified in Lean Six Sigma Green Belt and carries a Project Management Professional certification. Rodney is also a distinguished alumni of the 2011 Small Business Administration Emerging Leaders Program. Will you please help me welcome Mr. Rodney Johnson to the TCC family?
President Heed, distinguished members of the board, Chancellor Giovannini, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for extending to me the privilege of serving Tarrant County in both the college, in both the community, as well as in our county. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Welcome. We going to have a closed session? The TCC board will now conduct a closed meeting as authorized by Section 551 of the Texas Government Code in order to A, seek the advice of its attorneys, B, deliberate real property matters, C, deliberate personnel matters, or D, deliberate security devices or security audits. The board will reconvene after this. The board will now reconvene in open session at 7:48 p.m. And the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second by the rest of the board. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
This yours or mine? That's yours.